Okay, very exciting day today. I'm gonna try some makeup. What? I haven't done that in 1,000 years. That's because I don't even really wear makeup anymore. Last time I wore makeup was Christmas. But I got these for free, not from the brand, but from Pinch Me. I've talked about them before. They actually sent me stuff from this brand before too. Pinch Me is kind of like you take surveys, you do reviews, kind of like an influencer kind of thing. But it's like only the second Tuesday of the month that you go in and you pick your samples. They sent me some really fun products from Ilia. So they sent me the whole True Skin line, which is very exciting. I do have this from Ilia, the Super Serum Skin Tint that they actually sent me because I did a video reviewing their mascara and then they emailed me and they were like, let's send you whatever you want. It was really nice. So awesome brand. But yeah, so they sent me this. Now obviously I didn't pick the shades. I like did one of those things on like the survey, like asking if I wear makeup and stuff like that, and I put in my shade, so I don't think the shade's exactly right, so I don't know. But so they sent me the True Skin Radiant Priming Serum. So I don't think it's really a serum. I think it's like a primer in like a serum form. It says affirming, smoothing, anti-pollution. So that's really exciting. I'm not much one for primer. If I do wear primer, it's the Future Dew from Glossier, and this kind of sounds like that, to be honest. It's super cute. It's called Light It Up. It just comes in here, like really adorable. So it says it has aloe in it. The ingredients in these also seem pretty good. Now, this is the True Skin Serum Foundation, lightweight, smoothing, and soothing with niacinamide, allantoin, and aloe. So again, really cute. This is more coverage than the other one I just showed you. They're saying it's like a medium to full, to be honest. I'm like, that's not my vibe. This is my vibe. It says a clean skincare powered foundation for skin that looks and feels alive, not covered up. The weightless serum formula melts in effortlessly for buildable medium coverage with smooth skin-like finish. The niacinamide helps refine the look of skin tone and texture, while the allantoin and aloe add nourishment. And it says shake well before use 1 pump for light coverage and 2 for medium coverage. It says to use with their brush. I don't have that. I'm probably gonna use my hands, but this shade is too dark, so I'm definitely using 1 pump. It's a glass bottle, fancy. I'll probably give it to my mom because this shade is much better for her. But the concealer is my shade, so this is the True Skin Serum Concealer, smoothing, brightening with vitamin C. So hopefully that's like a brightening thing. It's fragrance-free, silicone-free, medium coverage, hydrating and brightening. The foundation is in shade SF2 Tavarua. And this one is in shade Chicory SC1. Much more me. But I already have all my skincare on. Obviously no makeup. And we're gonna try these things now. It's already like after 1 o'clock, or it is 1 o'clock. It's raining, so like I don't know how long this is gonna go on for today. But it's like a first impressions, like wear test kind of thing. If you're used to my channel, I know if I like something after the first use. I'm not someone that's like, let's try it for 2 weeks. Like, no. I honestly rarely wear makeup, so yeah. Also, this light is like super intense. Like, I think I should adjust this, so give me a sec. That is much better. So first, let's do like a nice close-up and use my phone of what my skin looks like now. Looks like a serum. Ooh, very thin. Ooh, it has like a shimmery finish, which I'm not a fan of. Doesn't really smell like anything, but it definitely has like a shimmer. It's not as moisturizing as I would expect. It kind of feels sticky. The shimmer is really subtle, so it's not like intense, but for the price, I just like don't feel like that's really necessary. I guess I can call it firming. Like my skin doesn't really look different. I don't know. Now the foundation is what I'm nervous about because the shade is so dark. But we're not gonna use much. We're gonna shake it up. I think it has a pump. Yes, lovely. We're just gonna put it on the back of my hand. Oh, it's so dark. It's so dark. Oh boy. It's a nice normal like foundation texture. It's very lightweight and thin. But like that is dark. It feels nice. It's not blending super easy. Like maybe it would be better with like a wet sponge. It's too dark. Oh boy. I'm not impressed right now, honestly. I felt like when you say true skin, it should be very hydrating, and it doesn't feel hydrating. Like my skin, I should have let you know, is dry and acne prone. So my skin's dry. So this, I mean, it doesn't feel ashy, but it just feels like no moisture. Like there's no moisture whatsoever happening. I actually feel like it's kind of pilling off of my skin, and my moisturizer and my SPF, like that was done a half hour ago. So I mean, let me just zoom in. I mean, the coverage is nice, but it's definitely too dark. I just feel like you can see it in my drier area, like here. I don't hate it. Like I do feel like maybe if it was the right shade it would be better. I definitely only use the one pump. I just don't want to go overboard because it's so dark, but I want to use the concealer because that's kind of what I'm most excited about. Okay, so it's a flat doe foot. Definitely thicker than the foundation for sure. Still looks a little dark. Let's just do this because that's my biggest concern at the moment, is the darkness under my eyes. You can definitely see the brightening from, I mean, look at that difference. That's insane. I'm not a fan, guys. I'm really not. It's dry. It is dry under my eyes. Like, I'm gonna have to zoom in and show you, but like when I look close in the mirror, it is like cakey, cake city. I have really dry under eyes, and I did use an eye cream, a really nice one, so that's a little bit of a bummer. The shade is definitely a little bit better, I guess. It's a little bit yellow, I think, for me. I'm not impressed. It does feel like, I have to be honest, it feels nice on the skin like this way, like when I don't touch it, and I'm not close to the mirror. It feels like nothing. Like it really doesn't feel like I'm wearing makeup, so if that's your jam, awesome, especially if you have oily skin. So far, I'm just not impressed. Like, Ilia is a great brand. I love a lot of their stuff. This just isn't hitting the mark for me. Like, I think that this priming serum might be really good for people who have more maybe oily skin or want like a gripping primer, because for some reason it felt more like that, like to cling to the makeup. Foundation, not shade for me. It's not bad. Like I definitely think it looks nice on the skin. Like it's definitely dry in some areas. I do have dry skin, but it doesn't look bad. It's like a nice light coverage. I'd actually call it light to medium, and I only use the one drop, one pump. It feels nice, like it feels smoothing, but it definitely is like not a natural finish. Like this is not a natural finish in my opinion. This feels like a natural matte or like a semi matte. It definitely feels like very smooth when you touch it. It doesn't have that like dewy naturalness that I prefer. I do feel like at this point it's better for someone who has more oily or normal skin. But the concealer, which I was the most excited for, like it just, oh, it is crumbling under my eyes. While we're here, I did want to mention Ilia, the lip wrap reviving balm, is like my favorite lip balm in the entire universe, so just gonna throw that out there. The concealer under my eyes is so creepy and dry that like the rest of my skin looks better. Can you see that? Like, do you see all of this? Like, it's just like clinging to the dryness. I am gonna spray, might as well, I have this, the Ilia blue light filter protect and set mist. I don't think that blue light filter things actually work, but this is kind of hydrating, so uh-oh, that might have messed everything up because it just came out in like weird little squirts instead of a mist. As of right now, like I'm not hating the foundation, honestly. I think if they gave me the right shade, I might actually really like it. Like for more of a long wear kind of thing, because I usually use like a tinted moisturizer, things that are very hydrating, and they don't tend to last as long on the skin just because they're so hydrating, like the skin kind of swallows them up. This actually does feel like more of a, you know, good for photos kind of foundation. Feels very lightweight, like to be honest. Like even the primer, like one reason I don't usually like primers because it feels heavy on the skin for me, and this doesn't. This really feels nice, and like I'm not wearing anything. Like this is the kind of thing I could fall asleep in. That's probably not a good thing. I think my phone is definitely less forgiving. Like my camera here is like really making everything look good, but I think my phone is less forgiving, so I'm gonna put those clips in too so you can see. think I'm gonna skip on the concealer. It's just too dry, in my opinion, for dry skin. If you have oily skin, it might be like your best friend. I actually kind of like the foundation, but I also kind of hate it. Like, this shade obviously wrong for me. Like, nothing we can do about that. I like I like how it's so lightweight. Like, it really does look like skin. It feels like skin. Like, no problem there. It's very, very lightweight. Like, the texture is almost like it melts. It's like, it's amazing actually. But I do think it's probably better for people with like normal to oily skin. Maybe like slightly dry, but I have like more severely dry skin. Like when I wash my face, if I don't put my skincare on right after, like I get tight and just feel horrible. So I think that it's very nice, and it really doesn't look that dry like the concealer does, but the foundation really doesn't look that dry. So that's great. It's just for me, I prefer more dewy finish, and that's just like a preference thing, so that's not gonna like take points off for me. And then for the primer, like I don't know, like it says radiant, and it has like when you put it on your hand you can see like a little bit of shimmer. I don't see that on my skin, so I guess it kind of just dissolves, but it feels like a very lightweight, like a watery serum. It really doesn't feel like hydrating or anything like that, so I would consider it more to be like a gripping primer. It really felt tacky on the skin, so that's like, if you like that, you might really like that. For me, I'm just like not a primer person, so like it might not be my favorite thing. My mom might really like that too, so I might just like give her this stuff. She might love this. To be honest, like this foundation, I've gotta say, I think it would probably be really good for mature skin because it is not settling at all into my like mouth lines, my forehead lines, even though it kind of looks, is it? No, not at all. Not at all. Right now, my highest rated product is gonna be the foundation. Like right now, I actually give it like a 4 out of 5. I say it's not right for my skin personally, but and like my personal preferences, but like in general as a product, I'd rate it really well. The concealer, just too dry. Like I just, like think about the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. I didn't like the original. The hydrating, I love. So like if they made a hydrating version of this, I might really like it. It has good coverage. Like you can see how bright my under eyes look now. It's just the dryness for me. If you don't have dry skin, it might be great. Similar to like Tarte Shape Tape. I found it a little dry. And then the serum primer thing, just not my vibe. But again, not a bad product. So that's kind of where we're sitting right now. We're gonna hang out for the day. I'm gonna go do some stuff and we will check back. So it's been an hour since I put this foundation on, and I definitely think my oils are coming through a little, which is nice. Like it definitely doesn't look as matte, but in other lighting it's not great. The under eye concealer is definitely dry, but I went into the bathroom and looked close up in the mirror, and it's definitely like my cheeks look good, but around my nose it's really dry, and like certain areas where I tend to be more dry, it just looks dry. So I definitely think it's a good quality product, but I just think if you have dry skin, it might not be your friend. I think that if you have oily skin, you might really like it. My mom definitely doesn't have dry skin, so I think she might really like it. Honestly, if this was like 5 years ago when I had super oily skin, I'd probably love this. Like I'd be like going nuts over it with the primer and everything. Like I think this would be amazing, but because I'm older now and I have drier skin, that's why it's not for me. But we'll check in later. I thought I'd just come on here real quick because I'm not loving this. The foundation actually isn't bad, but the concealer under my eyes looks, I don't know if you can see, it's terrible. I went out and my face still feels good, like the foundation, like it doesn't feel like anything, it's great, but the under eyes are so dry, like noticeably dry, like from a distance. So I'm just gonna take my makeup off. Just not a fan. So yeah, I love the foundation a lot actually. I feel like now that my oils kind of came through, it looks a little bit more like natural finish. But I wore a mask and it didn't come off at all, so that was awesome. So I'd say the primer, I'm gonna give that like a 3.5 out of 5. Just for my personal preference, I feel like it could be really good if you like something really lightweight that doesn't feel like a layer on your skin, like a silicone primer, but you want something gripping that's still gonna like keep your makeup on. I think it's great. It's just not hydrating in my opinion. The foundation, again, not hydrating, but really nice. Light to medium coverage, definitely buildable. I tried on the back of my hand, totally buildable. Super, super lightweight. Like, you don't feel like you're wearing anything on your skin. Great ingredients, like the pump, awesome. Just the concealer is not for me, like way too dry. I'm sure my face, it might not be as bad. My under eyes are so dry. So even like I put it around here and it's like so dry. So that's a no from me. But if you have oily skin, it might be awesome. So the coverage is good. But yeah, so that's my review of these Ilia, the True Skin line. So maybe if you guys try it out, I'll link everything down below. And yeah, it hasn't made me break out, I don't think. My face looks pretty much the same, so we're just gonna, the brand's never made me break out before, so I don't know why it would now. But yeah, so see you guys soon.